Speak up, reach out, go vote, show out.
From your neighbor to City Hall,
reach out, go vote, show out.
serving people is what it's all
Reach
about.
out, go vote, show out.
Frankfort civic proud.
Speak up, reach out, go vote, show out.
From Capitol Halls to Bourbon Balls, this is the City of Frankfort podcast for Frankfortonians. We're swapping stories, spilling tea, and celebrating the quirks that make Kentucky's capital the best hometown around. Welcome to the City of Frankfort podcast. I'm Kenton, and today we're kicking off a segment called You Would Not Believe What They Found. We're talking to the City of Frankfort staff about the strangest things they've come across. Today I'm chatting with the City of Frankfort's neighborhood inspector, Sharon Murphy, all about the job of the neighborhood inspector. Welcome, Sharon.
Thanks, Kitten. Thank you for having me here.
Glad to have you. So Sharon, tell us more about what you do for the City of Frankfort. What does it mean to be a neighborhood inspector? What does that entail?
I do rental inspections for all apartment and house rentals for the city. I do code enforcement, for any complaints from citizens, staff, or anything I might see while I'm out and about.
Okay. Nice. So we already talked about your job title. You're the neighborhood inspector.
Yes.
How long have you been with the city? Have you been here a long time? Or are you a fairly new employee?
4 months. I just had my
4
4-month
months.
anniversary. I'm a newbie still.
Oh, you ain't even
I ain't been
breached
broken
the
in
door
yet.
yet. That's what I was about to say. You haven't even breached the door yet. So what did you do before you worked for the city?
I actually worked for McDonald's for 29 years.
Really? 29 years?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. Like, what did you do for McDonald's? Like,
I
that
was
seems
an
really
operations supervisor. I had 4 restaurants, and I was in charge of day-to-day operations, finances, and everything for full McDonald's.
So that sounds like a big job.
Yeah, I
Sounds
started
like
as,
a lot.
yeah, I started as a crew kid.
And worked your way
I
all
worked
the
my way
up.
up.
The American dream.
Yep.
That is awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool. Man, McDonald's. So at the end you were like the McDonald's mom. You were the mom.
I was literally called mom by people that were
Yeah.
older than me.
you mothered 4 whole McDonald's worth of people.
I did.
And kept them on the straight and narrow.
Yes, I have lots of babies.
That's awesome. That is awesome. What made you want to, come to the city? Or
Well, actually, I decided in May that I needed a change. I was on call 24/7, never really had a day off, not even on vacations. And, I just turned 50 and I was like, you know what? I need to have a little more work-home life balance. And
okay.
I decided, and I actually had a friend who works for the sewer department. And I just reached out and said, do y'all have any opportunities in the city? And he contacted Kathy in HR, and she told me things I could apply for, and I did that. And
here you are.
I got interviewed by you, Ken.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
so funny little sidebar. I actually started at the city as a neighborhood inspector, so I do have a little bit of,
So you know
knowledge
what
on the
about.
subject.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. So yeah, I was actually a neighborhood inspector before I took the position I have currently as a stormwater inspector. And yes, I actually was in on Sharon's interview, so that's really funny to kind of bring that full circle. So I kind of know, but the people don't really know. Walk us through a day in the life of a neighborhood inspector. Like, what is kind of your day-to-day thing? Like, you come to work, what's kind of your schedule going?
I come to work, and normally I see if I have any rental requests for inspections, and I usually schedule those. I start at 9 o'clock scheduling those if I have those, and then I have follow-ups from complaints that I have went out and have cases on, and then sometimes I have new complaints that come in from citizens, and I schedule that out. I actually have a notepad that I write everything down. I have a whole month's worth. Like I go through and I look in my. I do. I'm very organized.
We approach things a little differently.
I'm very organized. I already have. I have a
can
notepad
tell.
that has everything, and then I add cases as I get new cases. I'll add them to my sheet.
There you go. Yeah, no, I mean, so it sounds like you never really know what's waiting out there for you. There's
No.
all kinds of stuff happening. I know this as well. I mean, it's you never know. What is your favorite aspect of being the neighborhood inspector? Like, what's your favorite part of it?
The people. I've met lots of different people.
I
Some very
have to
out there, some not, but I love the out there too. It's different personalities, and I just like people. So I enjoy going out. I've made some acquaintances with property managers and have really good relationships with them. I work with them, they work with me. And then just being out in the community, I've met a lot of interesting people.
Yeah, I would say the same thing for my time as a neighborhood inspector. Like you meet so many different people and you're meeting new people every day.
Yes.
And it's like, you don't really fall into a pattern. Like there's always something new going on and you never know what you're going to see, which is, kind of the whole premise of what we got going on here today.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's cool. So you work a lot one-on-one with residents and do like a lot of problem solving and stuff like that, right? You're not just being the bad guy inside of things. You're trying to help people figure out problems. Yeah. Right?
And I actually have been kind of like, you become a mediator between neighbors sometimes because complaints are between neighbors, like this on my property, they've done something this or that. And you kind of become the person like a peacemaker sometimes between the neighbors, and it feels good to make things better for people.
That's a good way to approach it. And I kind of like that, and that's kind of the approach I tried to have. It sounds like you were tailor-made for this job. It sounds like you really kind of have the right personality for it and everything. And you're not just out there to cite people and be the bad guy. You're out there to help solve problems.
I do want to say something, Ken.
Yes.
Some of the people say that I'm their favorite now, not you.
That's hard. That's hard on me. Because I used to be the favorite. They used to say that to me all the time.
But now they say that I'm the favorite. I think they told you they liked me. I think some people have messaged you.
Some people have told me. Some people, I've ran into a few people and they've said, you know what? I'm so glad that Sharon's there. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Never did I think that. But I was like, man, okay, no, I can get it. And I told them.
They're in good hands now.
I do. I know that the city is in great hands when it comes to neighborhood inspector and the code enforcement stuff. People often don't realize how much neighborhood inspectors contribute to community pride and safety. What is something you wish more residents understood about your work?
I wish they understood that I'm not out there just trying to cite people and document things. I'm out there really trying to help the city of Frankfort be cleaned up and look better. And I'm not the bad guy. And if there's an issue with somebody's property, I will work with you. As long as you work with me, I'm not the bad guy. I just want to make things better.
No, I understand, man.
But a lot of people like, we're the most hated department in the city, we say. That's a joke. We say that we're the most hated department in the city. And you've heard that because you lived it.
I have. And that's a thing. I mean, a lot of people do say that. And, what I always told people was, I'm like, going into this, when I was neighborhood inspector, whenever I'm dealing with somebody, it's not on good terms.
Yeah.
It's never the best day of their life when I'm dealing with them. Even the people who are trying to get something fixed or the people who are complaining about an issue, it's still not good for them because they're dealing with an issue.
Right.
So it does take a special kind of individual to be able to negotiate that, knowing that every situation you're going into is possibly the worst in somebody's life.
Yeah.
Like this could be the worst for them. Like, you have people that have issues with their home or issues with an apartment or something like that. You deal with a lot of really emotional people and, you have to diffuse a lot of situations.
A lot.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are very, very upset, which rightfully so. I mean, like you said, you're kind of dealing with something that, people they're not very happy. They have an issue. Or they're causing an issue. Maybe they don't know they're causing an issue.
We went together out to a property, and the lady, she said, "Oh, you've enlightened me. You showed me what I didn't realize it looked like this or that," and we actually did that case together.
And that's another thing that I don't think a lot of people know about being a neighborhood inspector is like how much. I know when I was a neighborhood inspector, I worked a lot with public works. I'd work with police department.
Yes.
You kind of work with a little bit of everybody. I mean, you get to see a lot of different things. You get to have your hands in a lot of different things because it's like, in a roundabout way, almost anything is connected to,
Yeah, I work with the fire department. Yeah. Matthew Marshall, I work with him a lot. Our building inspector, because a lot of cases to do with the building inspector and my role coincide with each other.
Absolutely. I know when I was there was a lot of times where me and the building inspector were going somewhere, checking something out, and for various reasons. I mean, there's all kinds of craziness that
Yes.
happens. But, and that's, if I had to, enlighten people on one thing, it would be like you said, it's that the neighborhood inspector's not there to ruin your life.
No.
They're just there because there's a set of rules. We don't make the rules, we just enforce them. I used to tell people all the time, there's the rules are the rules, and that's all I got to do is enforce the rules. It's like, it's not mine, and unfortunately a lot of people don't, and I don't know why, but a lot of people don't seem to look into like the codes, the nuisance code and stuff like that, and the rules that they can and can't do. Because you will see it all the time. I mean, how many times have you went somewhere and there have been ducks or chickens or
there was a pig? There was a pig.
That's what I'm saying. Like some sort of this is what we're here for.
Yeah, I drove by
wild
a house,
and crazy stuff.
And there was a pig, a big hog, in the yard, and the door was open to the house, and the pig was going in and out.
See, and that's wild. So there was a pig.
Yes.
So funny enough that I one time found a pig as well.
You did, and I was like,
it had a dog house in the backyard.
No, this one was going in and out of the house.
I was like, but the funniest part is I was not there for the pig.
Right, I wasn't either.
About something else.
I wasn't either, and I drove by, and I was like, did I just see a pig? So then I had to turn around so I could make sure I really saw a pig.
I mean, and who would ever think in the city of Frankfort that you would be driving by and you would see a whole pig?
Yeah. I remember this pig. I know the color. It was gray on top. Like it had gray hair.
Yeah.
It was a big old pig.
The one I saw, I think it was black and white, but it was like it had a doghouse in the backyard. It was in a fenced-in backyard, just chilling. And I'm like, bro, what in the world? The chickens. I mean, I've seen chickens, roosters.
Yeah.
But
the pig really got me because, like, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
I was there for something else, and I drove by, and I was like, did I just see a pig come out the door? So then I did a loop, turned around, and I was like, that was a pig. And then they tried to act like I didn't see the pig, and I was like, I saw a pig.
Have you ever had any really interesting conversations with somebody? Like, I know you can't really tell everything. Like, you can't tell who you were talking to and, like, all that stuff. Like, we're not going to out anybody. But I've had people tell me some very interesting stories before. I'm sure you have as well. I
mean, I know that passion flowers can intoxicate bees.
Something
I never knew that. And that you can pet them.
Oh, pet the bees.
Pet the bees when they're intoxicated. Okay. Yeah. I've had people talk about putting spells on people.
Oh, wow.
And voodoo dolls and that kind of stuff. I mean, I've seen it all.
You really never know.
You never know what you're going to get.
Man, I know I've talked to some of the most interesting people. And I know that I'm sure you have too. I've dealt with a bunch of people where at first interaction, they are very, very unhappy to see you.
Oh, absolutely.
And, like, to the point of, like, it's an issue.
Yes.
But I always use the tactic of like, if I can talk to you and, like, kind of enlighten you on what's going on, let you know that, hey, I'm here for this reason. Yeah, we got a problem, but I can help you fix it.
Right. I always want it to be not that it's like I win and they lose thing. I want it to be like a win-win situation where I'm helping them, they're helping me, we're working together, and we have that kind of relationship, because I don't get joy in going out and citing people or, and firing them or anything like that. I want to make things better for everybody, for the neighbors, for the property owners, and all that. And my goal is to have a win-win situation with all of them. Do
you have any advice for residents who want to help keep their neighborhoods in good shape? Like, what would you say to people that are, they mean well, they want to help keep Frankfort beautiful like it is? Would you have any advice for those people to kind of help them out?
I think that having a good relationship with your neighbors helps a lot. I mean, remember, the neighborhood is everybody. So if you work together and you have a good relationship, at least try that first, in situations, and it'll make things easier and better. Just keep your yards nice and pretty and not trashed up, or keep your grass mowed. And like I said, help each other out. Maybe your neighbor is ill and can't mow their yard. Maybe you have that relationship with them and you mow their yard for them or something like that. I mean, even in my neighborhood where I live, I had a neighbor that she had fell ill and we would mow her yard.
Absolutely.
I mean, because I don't want her yard looking bad, because it makes my yard look bad. So she's my neighbor. I helped her out.
100%.
So.
And I will say, like, in my time as a neighborhood inspector, I will say The majority of the things I dealt with could have been dealt with if maybe people would just, try and have a conversation with their neighbor.
Yes.
And I understand, like, it's not always.
No, sometimes it's impossible.
Yeah,
I mean,
sometimes it's very hard.
and I've seen situations like that where the neighbors can't communicate very well.
Oh, I got a good one for you. Is there any codes that, like, you think that people don't know that would be helpful for people to know are part of the code? Because that's like something, because I know a lot of people don't move here and then read the code book. They're not doing that. Like, people aren't doing that. They just kind of figure it out as they go. So I know that there are some interesting codes and stuff like that, but not to get too down in that, but I'm just saying, is there a code that if you could tell people one code, like, just to remind them, like, hey, remember this is the code. So this is why I have to do this or do that.
I think one that would save people money is like gravel.
Not putting gravel
down.
That is a very obscure one that I know a lot of people don't know. Because the people I've had it when I was there, and even now in what I do now, I've had several people be like, well, I'm just going to put gravel down.
And you can't do that in the city. Yeah. Because I just dealt with an issue actually this week.
And that one's always a pain because they spend money for that gravel
and they can't have I'm like, you can put gravel down and put your concrete pad down because you have to put gravel down first, but you can't leave the gravel there. It can't be, unless it's existing.
Yeah.
But you can't
and
just
that is the caveat there. And so that's what I'm saying. I mean, the codes are, not everything's black and white, but I mean, some things are pretty black and white. I would say if I had to choose one, it would be parking vehicles in your yard.
Oh, yeah. I get a lot of those too.
In your yard. You can't do it.
Right. And people, I know they're like, well, my car was only parked there for a day. But if it's out in the grass the day I come out, I still have to send a notice.
That's the thing. And I had some residents that would get so upset. Say the person that was causing the issue, they work night shift or something like that. Or they work, or they work day shift. And so they're out gone at work while we're at work.
Right.
And then they're like, well, they only parked the car there after 6. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to catch them after 6.
Right.
Because we have a set time that we work and, we have like kind of a set
I actually
schedule,
have dealt with that. Like, their car's parked there every night. Well,
and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll try to come first thing in the morning.
Right.
I'll try and come last thing in the afternoon. But it's like, it's very difficult sometimes to catch it. But that's one thing I'd like to, let people know.
Can't park in the grass.
Like most roads, you can park on the street side, on the side of the street. But
some they don't have that parking, and
some they don't.
But yeah, people, I have to see the car in the grass.
Yeah.
And even if it's just there for a day, as long as I see it, I still have to know, do it. But that's why we have the follow-up days.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that they know that we're coming back out, so then the car won't be there that day.
Absolutely.
So.
And I mean, that's another thing. Like, I don't know if people know this, but generally with like anything, I know with cars especially, like, you have like 30 days to move the car. So it's like not the end of the world.
Right.
I've had some people that just really didn't know any better. I put a sticker on and they would call me freaking out like, oh, please don't kill my car. Right. I'm like, hey, you're good. You got 30 days. Just make sure it's not there in 30 days.
Right. And if a vehicle, cover your vehicle. Mm-hmm. Put a cover over the vehicle.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Like if you have it in the driveway or something like that, if you have like an older vehicle or something in the driveway, just go and throw a cover on it.
Yeah, because
then it's less likely to be construed as an eyesore and something like that. No, I've had several.
Can't have flat tires, but make sure they're covered up.
That's a good one. Make sure those tires are pumped up.
That's right. You gotta have those tires pumped up.
Make sure those
it has to be operable.
Yeah, those tags
or at least look operable.
Don't leave a car on jacks for.
Oh no, I've had them on tree stumps.
A tree stump.
Josh, I had a vehicle that had tree stumps under each tire. I don't even know how they got them on there, but they were on there.
That's impressive. Tree stumps.
One under each tire.
You never know.
You never know.
You're gonna see. Never know what you're gonna see. So I know you kind of already hit on this, but what would you say the strangest thing that you ever found on an inspection was?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure that maybe one day we'll have to revisit this after you've been here a little longer.
Yes, I'm sure.
You'll be able to enlighten us on maybe the wildest or craziest thing
Sounds
you
good.
have ever found. I was trying to think if I had anything really exciting or good that I found.
How long were you a neighborhood inspector?
So I was a neighborhood inspector for just a little bit over a year, I want to say. Maybe it was a year and a half, about a year and a half, I think. So one thing I will say is I did used to see a lot of interesting things when I was housing inspector,
Mm-hmm.
and I inspected, apartments and houses for people. One of the funniest things I ever found was a recording studio, a home recording. I walk in this house. It was the first day on that job. I walk in this house to do an inspection on this house, and we're going through this normal house, normal family sitting there.
Right.
You would have never expected to find this in this house. I'm telling you, these people were just plain Jane, looked like regular old people. And I'm walking through, and I see I don't know if you know the band, the ICP, the Insane Clown Posse.
Yes.
So they have that little insignia, the little guy with the little hatchet or whatever. So I see that chain hanging up on the wall, like that on like on a necklace,
Right.
hanging up on the wall. And I like go in this door, and then dude's got like he might have got them from your McDonald's. He's got the little drink tray stapled up all over the wall. He has a whole
Like a sound.
yes, for like sound deadening qualities, and he has a whole recording studio in there. I was like, buddy,
You can say you knew them when if they become famous.
hey, there you go, there you go, there you go. But I mean, stuff like that, I don't know. You see all kind of weird stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. One time I saw a whole tractor at a house in town, or at a house in town. Sorry. One time I found a whole tractor. There was a tractor just in somebody's side yard at a house in town. I was like, well, that's kind of odd.
Was it their
I technically
car?
don't know if that's against the code or not, but
I've never seen anything about a tractor. It can't be parked in the yard, though. It would be parked in the driveway. I'm just saying.
But, so there you go. But that's the weird little nuance, though. Because can you park your lawnmower in the yard? Maybe they had a bush hog on the back. Maybe they're cutting the grass.
That's true.
Interesting.
They only have 4 lawnmowers in the yard, though. I've seen people with 4 lawnmowers in the yard.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Four's a little excessive. Four's a little excessive. I'm trying to think. Ooh, have you ever found any weird animals inside of houses?
All I've
Like
seen
if
is
people complain about animals, that's a big thing. People complain about animals being in their apartment buildings or in their rented houses and stuff like that.
I've only had like a raccoon complaint about raccoons.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty wild,
Tearing,
raccoons.
they jump up on the deck. They tear the screens off the windows and the doors.
Oh, gosh.
Yes,
So the raccoons really wanted in there.
yes. This recently
Gotta
we
hide
had a
the
complaint,
marshmallows.
and they have to are having to rescreen at this property because
Oh my gosh.
of the raccoons, and like they're big raccoons.
Oh, they probably
I saw
getting in the
videos.
trash, eating
I
trash.
saw videos of them, and
Oh, they can
because they're
can
backed
come
up to
in.
the woods, to the
Oh.
wilderness, so but they're raccoons everywhere.
That is one thing about Frankfort is there's a lot of, even though it's in the city, even downtown here, there's a lot of wildlife in the city of
Yes,
Frankfort.
yes.
I mean, it's not unusual to middle of the day see a deer behind
we were
Second
talking
Street
about that
School.
earlier. Yes.
I mean, we see deer all the time. I've gotten a few. I didn't find the snake, but I've had people complain about
Oh, no.
snakes being in the house. Oh, you're not a big snake
I'm not
person?
doing the snake. No, I'm sorry. Nope. Send me
Snakes
send me a picture.
Yeah. And I've had people say stuff like that, but as far as that, like, man,
You know,
I can't
and we have complaints about bed bugs.
really- yeah,
We don't come in if it's bed bugs.
yeah,
We do
that's
not go
that's
in.
Good. That's a good factor. Yeah.
We do not go in with bed bugs. You send me some pictures, but I'm not going in there.
And the weirdest thing to me is I never had a run-in with bed bugs, but while I was the neighborhood inspector, I went to inspect the house, and there was a couple of stray cats on the porch.
And I know you love
I
cats.
made it. Oh yeah, cats are my favorite. I made it up on the porch. Didn't even make it inside of the home. And I guess that these stray cats were like infested with fleas, and I was plumb covered in fleas.
Oh,
I know I looked like a madman out there trying to absolutely spray.
I was gonna say, do you have your spray?
I
You
was
better take your spray
spraying
with you.
myself and dancing around trying to shake these bad boys off of my khakis. So I did have to let the that apartment owner know that you're gonna have to
Do something. I had a
something about that
complaint
before I
about roaches that they had from another unit. And I'm not gonna lie, I went out, took my boots off, and was like trying to shake to make sure there was none in it, and I was spraying.
That's a big thing, man. Making sure you don't take any of that stuff.
Yeah,
home.
I ain't taking
nobody
that
wants to take that home.
I literally had my boots off in the parking lot, shaking them, making sure there was nothing in it.
And pests happen. And a lot of times whenever I would see like complaints on stuff like that, it wouldn't be the people complaining.
No.
It wouldn't be their, it's not from them. It would be from maybe some trash piled up
Right.
outside or, they love
And
boxes.
if
There
it's
would
an
be-
apartment complex, that's some things that you have to deal with because they're coming from other units.
It is an unfortunate
You know,
thing.
and
But I
so-
mean, I know that you try to stay on top of it and try to keep everybody
I
honest.
do. I try.
Well, thank you so much, Sharon, for joining us today and giving us insight on Frankfort's neighborhood inspector.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate that. Really learned a lot. Got to tell some good stories and a little camaraderie between
That's
two
right.
people who kind of know the trenches. If you will.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us this week, fellow Frankfortians. We will catch you again next week on the City of Frankfort podcast. Don't forget to follow the City of Frankfort podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and make sure you subscribe to our show feed on Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts to get weekly episode notifications.